Right now at 6, a helicopter carrying a Missouri State Parks team crashes into a frozen river.
And temperatures very cold this morning, staying that way through the weekend with cold weather advisories making a return. A look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, the ministry in Carthage is providing essential resources for neighbors facing difficult times.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6 a.m. I'm Samantha Walker.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is finally Friday, or Friday, as we like to say sometimes here, January the 30th. And, we talked about at Christmas time, we had those record highs.
Yes.
And we said then, because we knew it was going to be true, we were going to have to pay for those very warm temperatures, and we certainly have over the last couple of weeks. We've had dangerously cold wind chills, bitterly cold high temperatures. We've had the snow. Winter definitely showing up with a vengeance here in the last week and a half or so.
And I feel bad because, as you know, I was asking for wintry temps. I was like, let it be cold.
Well, you got it. I think you asked a little too hard.
Look, when I say let it be cold, I was like 40s, upper 30s. Cool. Yeah. Maybe one little snow and then we're good. And then all of winter decided to come at once. And it's like, we're going to be like 5 degrees at times. Yeah. It's going to be great.
Man, it's hit hard. We've been below average for quite some time now, even breaking record lows over the last couple of weeks. You go from record highs a month ago to record lows, in 30 days time. Of course, that's the 4 states. And it's going to be cold into the weekend, but we do warm up next week, which is good. But we got to get through this weekend and today first. And we'll start with our live look from downtown Pittsburgh. All that snow that's still out there, wherever you are, it is going nowhere this weekend. Any melting we did over the last couple of days is done for the time being because it's going to be so darn cold and it's just not going to go anywhere. Now, there are some concerns, though, with that, which I'll point out. There's a KDOT camera right now. It's a great view with a great example. It's not saying it's happening or will happen right there, but it gives you a great example. All right, Westco camera 7th and range line, looking good so far. This is the one at 69,400 looking back north toward Pittsburgh. See all this stuff in the middle? It's on the pavement. There's not a median here or anything. It's just flat pavement. This slushy stuff is what's refreezing. Some of it's going to be like running into bricks, especially on neighborhood streets where it gets really choppy by stop signs and intersections. So you need to be cautious this morning. You also need to be cautious for it to be really slick, and then watch out for black ice. Some of the melting that took place around this stuff has refrozen as well. So you've got to slow down this morning and be careful as we head into the weekend and watch out for icy patches here and there. MoDOT camera 20th and range line. Joplin looks good. These cold weather advisories have returned. Oklahoma and Arkansas through noon on Sunday. The rest of us through 10 a.m. on Sunday, because our wind chills through the weekend starting tonight are going to be anywhere from 10 to 15 degrees below zero. We're at 17 in Joplin, 18 in Pittsburgh. Much colder off to our north and east as this Arctic air starts to slide in. So we're at 13 in Stockton. That's our cold spot. We've got some mid-teens, upper teens out there. You go a little further to the southwest, we get some low 20s. We got 22s, the warmer temperatures. Sedan, Newata, Jay, Anderson, and Bentonville. And then the breeze. It's not picked up a lot yet. It will increase. And so we've got wind chills already into the single digits. Feels like 6 in Greenfield and Monette. We've got some low to mid-teens. And Iola, the best wind chill right now, sitting at 20. On to the future track. Clouds increasing through the morning into the afternoon. Flurries are possible anywhere, but where future track is showing snow, it's just a better chance for flurries. Perhaps a brief period of light snow, but it's not going to add up to anything. We're otherwise going to be cold and breezy. For kids heading to school, I know there's still a few schools that are closed this morning. I've been out all week, but those that are going back, mid-teens, so make sure you bundle up out the door. Mid-20s by lunch and recess, and as you head home in between noon and 6, that opportunity for some flurries. Upper teens by 9, again, our highs today, best we're going to do is about the mid-20s. We'll have north winds gusting to 20, keeping our wind chills during the day at about 5 to 10 above zero. Winds increase tonight. We have the clouds, much colder through the weekend, and then, like I said, a warm-up next week. A lot to go over, and we'll break it down for you in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Chris, thanks. A helicopter crashes into the Merrimack River carrying a Missouri State Parks team. According to the Missouri Department of Natural Resources, the team was conducting an aerial ecological survey of the Merrimack State Park when the aircraft may have struck a power line. All of those aboard the helicopter were rescued from the river and are under medical care. The chopper apparently sank into the icy river, and park rangers are on site assisting. Well, a funeral home in Ferguson, Missouri, meant to be a private, solemn event, turned chaotic when gunfire erupted inside. The city's police chief said over 30 evidence markers were at the scene, with multiple people injured, including 3 from gunshots, 2 by flying glass, and 1 hit by a car in a frantic rush to leave. Police have detained multiple persons of interest and recovered firearms. A wrong-way driver near Carthage traveled 7.5 miles before finally crashing. Authorities received a report late Wednesday night. When they arrived on scene, they found an SUV in a ditch near mile marker 58, just north of 2 semis pulled into the shoulder. Troopers believe the SUV struck a guardrail, then sideswiped one of the semis. The second semi struck road debris. The driver of the SUV, David McKinney of Carthage, was not injured. He was arrested and cited for felony DWI and driving the wrong direction on a divided highway. Weeks after Adam Bizzari's death, his friends are still struggling to process what happened. The 18-year-old Girard High School football player was shot and killed on January 9th. Police say allegedly by a friend. One of Adam's closest friends was there with him and says the loss is even harder knowing they knew the alleged shooter.
Definitely one of the hardest things, knowing that somebody that all of us grew up with as a kid, knowing he's the one that took him away from us, knowing that he's the one that took Adam, and knowing we'll never see him again.
To honor Adam's life, friends and family are planning a memorial basketball tournament this weekend. You can find those details on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, for more than 4 decades, the Carthage Crosslines Ministry has served as a lifeline for residents of eastern Jasper County, providing essential resources to neighbors facing difficult times. KOAM's Ty Parks shows us how the organization is making a difference.
For over 40 years, Carthage Crosslines Ministry has been a good neighbor to eastern Jasper County. Executive Director Tony Smith brings a personal understanding to her role.
It's so near and dear to my heart. I have 2 college degrees. I'm a cosmetologist. I'm a master gardener. And I went through a terrible divorce and became homeless. And so it can happen to anyone. For me, with the help of a lot of other people helping me get back on my feet and that believed in me, I was able to become the director here. While that's much harder climb for many of our neighbors. Some
People can come in and get food, clothing, and hygiene products. The ministry serves a diverse population that extends beyond traditional assumptions about who might need assistance. Smith emphasizes that clients represent all segments of the community.
Those that are in need are always, there's always going to be those that are in need. And so how do we help that? And we're not talking just about able-bodied people that can go to work. We're talking about your grandma, someone that goes to church with you, your neighbor, people with disabilities, single mothers with children that have part-time jobs that need a little additional help. And so we try to cover all of those bases.
The organization recognizes that financial hardship can affect anyone. Carthage Crosslines currently seeks volunteers to help with their operations. The ministry also looks for contractors and service providers who might offer discounted rates for necessary work.
Help us out. It doesn't have to be for free, but if maybe you could give us a cut rate price with your labor, the labor alone, we know that almost always doubles everything. And so that could help us dramatically.
In Carthage, Ty Parks, KOAM News.
That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Lawmakers reach a deal to avoid a government shutdown, but one major agency gets separate treatment. Plus, a popular YouTube creator makes the jump to feature films with an unusual underwater thriller. And temperatures are taking a dip as we head into the weekend. Chris has a look at your forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 6:21 now on this Friday morning, and we are starting with this. Like I said, I do like the color blue. I like many shades of blue. It's just when it comes to weather, blue is typically not a good thing. It's usually related to winter stuff, cold weather, things like that. And these are cold weather advisories. Oklahoma, Arkansas through noon on Sunday, and then the rest of us through 10 a.m. on Sunday. And if you recall from last weekend when we had these and some extreme cold warnings out there, this is because wind chills heading into tonight through Sunday are going to be 5, 10, 15 degrees below zero. It's going to be breezy. It's going to be very cold. But there's a silver lining on the extended forecast. forecast, which we'll get to in just a moment. As for today, clouds increasing, already starting to do so, and then everybody really has a chance for flurries, but where Future Track is hinting at like actual snow, that's where you have a slightly better chance for flurries, or maybe even a brief period of light snow, but it's not going to add up to anything, so we don't need to worry about that. It's just another indicator that it's really cold today. It's going to be really cold tomorrow. It's going to be colder tomorrow. So here's what we've got. Gusty north winds today. They increase overnight tonight. And believe it or not, briefly, clouds will clear out early Saturday morning. It won't make any difference because it will still be very cold out there. And then those clouds will begin to return as we go into Saturday afternoon and evening. Now, what I want everyone to pay very close attention to is what happens with the winds. You see how they shift out of the south? Yeah, I get a high pressure track south of us. And high pressure, the wind direction around it is clockwise. So now we get southerly winds heading into Sunday morning. Still cloudy, still maybe some flurries, a brief period of light snow possible. And then those winds will shift out of the southwest. They do start to increase. Skies will clear through Sunday afternoon into the evening. And while we will be a bit breezy, which will make it feel a bit colder, we will start to warm up. All right, today though, not warming up, not at all. Mid-teens to start, low 20s by 11 o'clock this morning. Our highs, best we're going to muster in most cases is going to be the mid-20s. And again, those north winds gusting to 20 will also keep our daytime wind chills about 5 to 10 above zero. Down to the mid-teens by 10 o'clock, about 1 for our low, 1. And then the north winds gusty to 25, place those wind chills 5, 10, 15 degrees below zero. So the other concern we have is any melting that has taken place, first off, is going to stop. Obviously, it has stopped. But that stuff's going to refreeze and stay frozen through the weekend, so you do need to be cautious. You need to watch out for that slushy stuff. Some of it, where it's made little mountains on the road, is going to harden up as it freezes, and it's going to be something you don't want to hit too hard with your car because it's like going to be like driving over piles of bricks. The other side of it is some of that melting could lead to patchy black ice or even just ice in general. Even on some of the roads that have been clear, there could be some melting that's taken place the last couple of days that could lead to a thin layer of ice. So be careful, slow down, just give yourself time to get where you're going. And then Sunday, those winds help out mid-30s, but look at the rest of next week into the weekend. 40s, 50s, near 60 by next weekend. Much better, much warmer, and some rain chances Tuesday into Wednesday. So just a few more bitterly cold days to get through. And then we'll start to get a little closer to normal, maybe even a bit above normal. That is a check of your forecast. We're going to send it over to Samantha now with Health Watch.
Thanks, Chris. Men tend to develop heart disease 10 years earlier than women. That's according to a study published in the Journal of the American Heart Association, which shows that the heart health gender gap has existed for decades and still continues today. Researchers say patients should be assessed for heart attack risks in young adulthood so prevention strategies can be implemented. Well, more and more people are turning to medical marijuana for pain control. As Stephanie Stoll tells us, it's becoming a popular alternative to opioids.
So the front of this calf gets numb.
After breaking her back falling on black ice, 75-year-old Sharon Garcia suffers with chronic pain.
It's just debilitating. It's a constant. It's like somebody's like a knot in my back.
She's among a growing number of people finding pain relief with medical marijuana.
CBD has helped me mostly with sleep.
Her doctor, Ari Grice, is the director of the medical cannabis department at the Rothman Orthopedic Institute.
For a lot of people, they can use small amounts of cannabis on a long-term basis without it affecting their body in other bad ways.
He says cannabis use is becoming a popular alternative to opioids, which can be addictive.
We're moving away from opioids, especially for treating chronic pain conditions. And when you take these powerful medications away from patients who are suffering on a daily basis, you have to offer them something else.
He says cannabis can be as effective as opioids for pain control with fewer side effects.
Small dosages of THC, oftentimes combined with other cannabinoids, can alleviate symptoms without causing intoxication.
The cannabis that Dr. Grice recommends comes in a variety of forms, including pills, edibles, and topical lotions. But doctors don't write prescriptions for it, just offer recommendations because it's legal in some states, but not federally.
And patients, through kind of trial and error, figure out what the right dose is for them and what gives them the most benefit.
Hoping to alleviate the guessing game, Rothman is researching patients using cannabis to determine which products are most effective. Stephanie Stahl, CBS News, Philadelphia.
Transitioning to sports, it's been nearly 2 weeks since Missouri Southern basketball has taken the court, but the wait is over as the Lions clash with Arkansas Fort Smith in a doubleheader at home. MSSU women rolled to their 5th straight win, handling Arkansas Fort Smith 59-36. In the third quarter, Grace Frazier attacked the lane to push the Lions' lead to 18. Then Mariah Clay buried a corner 3 as Southern pulled away. McKenna Yoakley went to work in the post, and Lily Thomas knocked down mid-range jumpers to close it out as the Lions cruised wire to wire for the home victory.
It almost seemed like we went on Christmas break again. We had that same type of time frame as far as actually played the same team after Christmas. And it's always a challenge, and you're always worried as a coach when you're having that much time off, how are they going to respond? And I thought our kids responded, especially on the defensive end. We responded extremely well. Offensively, we struggled to knock shots down, but we were getting good shots. So I knew that eventually they was going to fall.
MSSU men cap off the night by completing the sweep of Arkansas Fort Smith with an 86-81 win. Early on, Colin Ruffin finishes through contact for an and one. Then Gavin Elkamil twice connects with Hunter Fitch for back-to-back dunks to spark a Lions run. Elkamil adds a corner 3 later as Missouri Southern holds off the late push and secures the home victory. At the high school level, Webb City hit the road to face Glendale in a battle of the birds. In the first quarter, Abby Sargent jumped a pass and took it coast to coast for a fast break layup as the Cardinals built a double-digit lead. Second half, Whitley Keith found Addie Burns for the drive and finish off the glass as she closed the night with 14 points, while Sargent added a corner 3 on her way to 21 points and 9 assists. Webb City cruises to a 31-point road win over Glendale, marking their 6th straight victory. With the baseball season starting up this weekend, the initial National Collegiate Baseball Writers of America's Division II Top 25 poll has been released. Coming off a historic season in 2025, finishing with a program record 42 wins, Pitt State is ranked 16th. It's the start of a new era for the Gorillas as Brock Buckingham takes over as head coach, but a familiar face in All-American Dagan Brewer is back in the crimson and gold. PSU kicks off their season on Sunday against Southern Arkansas. That's it for sports. We'll be right back. Right now at 6:30, Joplin voters will decide on police and fire funding this April.
And it is already very cold out there this morning. Cold weather advisories heading into the weekend. We'll break it down for you coming up.
At Greenbush, high school students get an introduction to crime scene investigation. I'm Kenny Foreman, and I'll have more on that coming up.
Most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News at 6:32. I'm Samantha Walker.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is finally Friday, January the 30th. One more day after today left in January, then we'll transition into February, obviously. But man, it has winter hit hard. We knew we were going to have to pay for those warm temperatures in December, and we certainly have over the last couple of weeks. And we got another cold blast. Then we'll start to warm back up again.
Yes. You know, I was asking for those cold temperatures so I could wear my sweaters, and I've gone to wear them now, so it can go back away.
Well, that's some good news. Is it will. It will, but it's going to take a few more days. So let's talk about what we've got to get through from here to there, starting, of course, with our Friday. And we're starting with that live look from downtown Pittsburgh. We've got clouds already rolling in, so you can see a little daylight out there. You can see the clouds up closer to the Skywatch weather banner. Westco camera, 7th and range line in Joplin. Looking good so far. Traffic's rolling along. Did want to talk about this because this is just a good example of what we're concerned about today into the weekend. See, slushy stuff right down the median. That's not usually a big big issue. But what's going on is now that it's so cold and it's going to stay that way, this stuff is refreezing, which means instead of it being slushy and soft for your car to drive through, it's going to turn into solid material, solid ice, and it's going to be like hitting bricks. So especially on neighborhood streets where you get to intersections where it's really slushy, you got to watch out. And then the other side of it is see this? Yeah, you can even see the reflection of the headlights on that. We've got black ice where some of this has melted and now frozen. So you've got to be cautious through the weekend, starting now, because of the extreme cold that's coming back in. Any snow we've got obviously sticking around, and of course we're going to have to deal with that stuff refreezing through the weekend. Additionally, we have cold weather advisories lasting through Sunday for most of the region, as our wind chills heading into tonight through Sunday could be anywhere from 5, 10, 15 degrees below zero once again, like last weekend, just this time without the snow. 17 in Joplin, 18 in Pittsburgh right now. There's that Arctic air off to our north and east, so Stockton, you've been in the colder spot all morning. You're a wee bit closer to it, sitting at 14. We've got upper teens, and then we get into the low 20s as you get a little further south and west. You factor in the breeze, which right now isn't ramped up as much as it will be later today into tonight, but we've still got wind chills, 4 in Stockton and Greenfield, 8 in Monette and Carthage, as well as Lamar, 5 in Nevada. So all of us are going to be getting in on those cold wind chills as our north winds increase through the day. Clouds increasing, flurries possible anywhere, but where Future Track is hinting at snow, it's just a slightly better chance of flurries, perhaps a brief period of light snow, but nothing is expected accumulation-wise, so we don't have to worry about that at least. All right, kids who are going to school today, which is now most of you, mid-teens out the door, mid-20s by lunch and recess and as you head home, so again, do bundle up this morning. Flurry chances really anywhere from about noon to 6. We'll be into the upper teens by 9, our highs only into the mid-20s, and those north winds gusting to 20 will keep our wind chills today anywhere from about 5 to 10 degrees above zero. So cold air sets in this weekend, then we do warm up. Details on that in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Chris, thanks. Joplin voters decide April 7th whether to continue a half-cent sales tax for public safety. City officials say the funding is crucial to retain police officers and firefighters who are leaving for higher-paying departments. The measure would replace the current Prop B tax when it expires in 2027, keeping tax rates the same. Well, more than 100 high school students throughout southeast Kansas get a chance to learn how crime scene investigations work. KOAM's Kenny Foreman shows us how the Greenbush Education Center in Girard is opening their eyes to future possibilities.
I thought the blood splatter was pretty cool, learning about how they actually learn about it or learn about their suspect, what he does, and the footprints were pretty cool. I like the stuff they use in order to make that happen.
Whether it was hearing from industry professionals, chatting with college recruiters, or viewing demonstrations from MSSU criminal justice students, the Greenbush Education Center made sure there was something for everyone.
Hands-on is necessary for learning. It keeps them engaged and also gives them real-life experience. All of the kids here today are juniors and seniors in high school, so they're deciding what they want to do for the rest of their lives or for college.
Throughout the day, the students got to take part in several hands-on activities, such as foot impressions.
We learn from each other. I know I learn from them. It's a great experience for them to see different things in CSI that I didn't know once I got into the program, but I like it and I'm glad to teach to other students too.
Of course, it's not unusual for high schoolers to be unsure of what they want to study in college or pursue for a career, but the center hopes many leave feeling inspired to at least consider paths in law enforcement and forensics.
I hope they have an excitement for learning, if nothing else, and I hope that they had a good day and kind of learn behind the scenes of what happens at a crime scene. But hopefully today some kids will decide if this is the career path for them or not. And today I hope that they also start thinking about that future and that next step.
In Girard, Kenny Foreman, KOAM News.
That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Coming up next, we have Shannon Becker's Big 3 live and local stories of the week. Well, welcome back. Now, normally we would have Shannon Becker in the studio for his big 3 stories of the week, but you know him, he's always on the road and always very busy.
Yes, he is. He's actually currently at a fire in Webb City in the 800 block of West Austin, and says it's a vacant home. Firefighters on scene. Shannon on scene. Probably seen him on Joplin News First on Facebook. So we are going to take over this role for him this morning because he still has those big 3 stories, and we're going to start with number 3. And we've talked about this one this morning. A wrong-way driver traveling 7.5 miles on Interstate 49 near Carthage before crashing Wednesday night. Now, the reports came in around 11 of an SUV heading northbound in the southbound lane, starting at the Fairview Avenue exit. Now, the vehicle struck a guardrail and then sideswiped a semi and knocked an axle from under the trailer. And a second semi was driving down the road and ended up running into some of the debris, causing it to crash. They found the SUV in a ditch near mile marker 58. Missouri State Highway Patrol arrested 36-year-old David McKinney of Carthage on felony DWI and wrong-way driving charges. McKinney, though, uninjured in that crash, which is remarkable, but still a very dangerous situation there for sure with that wrong-way driver. Webb City police officers traded their patrol cars for sleds as winter weather blanketed the area this weekend. Officers joining in with community members for some downhill fun, showing a lighter side of law enforcement. You can see some of that video there. It's a lot of smiles and laughter during that sledding session. In a playful way for the officers to connect. That looks like a lot of fun. I'd probably end up breaking my hip or my back or some other thing.
I haven't gone sledding in so long, and it just makes me miss it.
I used to roll down the hill as a kid just in the summertime, then get all itchy from the grass. But sledding a lot better out there. And it helps the police, of course, build positive relationships with the community. It's number 2 story. Number 1 story, during the heavy snow, MoDOT, a snowplow overturning during that heavy snow near Joplin early Sunday morning, just before 3:30 in the morning, State Route P near Hornet. The full-size plow was heading west, approaching Highway 86 when, due to that heavy snow, we talked about the reduced visibilities. It obstructed the vision here, causing the driver to slip off the south side of the road. The vehicle overturned after going off that side of the road. The driver suffered non-life-threatening injuries and was taken to an area hospital. Reddingsville Fire, Newton County Ambulance, and Newton County deputies responded to the scene. So, it's again, even in those big trucks, and that's the other thing, even those big trucks, susceptible. They're built for this. This is what they do, and still susceptible to the winter weather. So when we tell you to stay off the roads, be safe, we're not kidding around with you.
And in some more winter dangers, Shannon even gave us a bonus story as well, in which firefighters had to rescue 2 horses from a frozen pond in Crawford County Monday. The horses walk onto snow-covered ice and fall through into the frigid water. Cuba Fire Protection District crews respond and break a path through the ice to lead the animals to shore. Firefighters work in cold conditions to safely extract both horses from the dangerous situation, and the horses did receive care in a nice, dry, warm barn where veterinarians examined them and find them in good condition despite the icy ordeal.
That's certainly serious there too, and that's the other thing. We had some ice over ponds and streams and stuff in the area, but the ice just not thick enough to really go out on. Now the horses, it's truly an accident, but you don't want to go out on those icy spots because the ice just is not thick enough around here.
Definitely something to watch.
Oh, we got more of the KOAM Morning News right after this. All right, time now for some Friday birthdays. We're going to start with Olivia Nadine, celebrating birthday number 2. Says, happy birthday, we love you.
And Malaysia is celebrating birthday number 6. Happy birthday, Malaysia.
Over to Columbus, where Cameron Turner is celebrating birthday number 8 today. Happy birthday, Cameron.
And another Columbus birthday, Gunnar Burton is celebrating birthday number 11. It says, love from Aunt Tabby and Uncle Rusty.
And over to CJ we go, where Willa Fecky is celebrating birthday number 12. Says, happy birthday to the softball chasing dancing queen. Love Daddy, Mommy, Kenzie, and Nana.
And in Pittsburgh, Kansas, Reed Prophet is celebrating birthday number 13. Happy birthday, Reed.
And heading over to Jasper, where Jake Harris is celebrating birthday number 20. Happy birthday.
And in Pittsburgh, Hannah Hightower is celebrating birthday number 24. Happy birthday, Hannah.
And Jacoby celebrating birthday number 31 today. A very happy birthday to you.
And in Jasper, Jacob Jennings is celebrating birthday number 36. Happy birthday, Jacob.
And we've got Randy Potts in Joplin celebrating birthday number 41. Happy birthday.
And Ira Harina is celebrating birthday number 44. Happy birthday, Ira.
And Jonathan Honschel in Carthage celebrating birthday number 45. Happy birthday to you, Jonathan.
And in Joplin, Nicholas Yarbrough is celebrating birthday number 53. It says love, Teresa and Jen. Happy birthday, Nicholas.
And Jen Cam in Chanute celebrating birthday number 71. 71. I was skipping ahead here. 71. Happy birthday, Jen.
And Lonnie Ernell is celebrating birthday number 78. Happy birthday, Lonnie.
And in McCune, Brenda Parsons celebrating birthday number 81. Happy birthday.
And in Pittsburgh, Sharon Norris is celebrating another year wiser. Happy birthday, Sharon.
And then our very own Mariah Monsauer McConnell celebrating another year wiser. She's one of our digital content producers and manages to, oh my gosh,
Hannah. Poor Hannah sitting at home wondering why you didn't want to wish her a birthday.
It's because there's too many pages of paper here. Okay, I am so sorry, Hannah. Happy birthday, Hannah. We're going to celebrate you. We're going to take a second here. We're going to do it the right way. A very happy birthday to Hannah Rowe in Pittsburgh, celebrating a birthday pictured with our very own Tanya Bach. A very happy birthday to you, Hannah, and I apologize that I can't read a sheet of paper, but that's okay. Just for that, you should get extra birthday celebrations to make up for my inability to read paper. All right.
And now it's Mariah's birthday. Now it's our very own Mariah Mansour McConnell, she's a digital content producer here at KOAM. So a lot of what you see online is part of what Mariah helps make possible on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. So a very happy birthday to you, Mariah.
Yes, a very happy birthday to you, and a happy birthday to Chandler Humble, celebrating number 25. Happy birthday.
It says happy birthday from Nana and Popo. Thank you very much, and happy birthday, Chandler. And in Iola, Kansas, Jamie Adair is celebrating birthday number 45. It says love from the family. Happy birthday, Jamie.
All right. Very happy. This is what I'm saying. I am not awake this morning, so I apologize to everyone on our birthday list. If you'd like to celebrate it when I'm slightly more caffeinated, or at least Samantha's got her stuff together, there's some information she's got, because she could probably read this a lot better than I can, apparently, this morning.
We just have to be, one of us has to be functioning at a time. But here's where you send it. Those photos, those birthdays, those anniversaries, send it to birthdays@KOAMnewsnow.com. You can see that email on your screen, but also make sure you pay plenty of attention to the deadline on your screen so we can get it in plenty of time to be able to celebrate with you on your special day.
Yeah, very important information there, and just, I'm over it. I'm over it. It's time to go home. Okay, let's see if we can get through this. I mean, thankfully, other than city names, there's not a lot of reading on these maps. Usually I can read fine. I just am not with it this morning, I guess. Okay, let's talk about what we've got. This blue color here. Oklahoma, Arkansas, cold weather advisories through noon on Sunday. Everyone else, right now, these cold weather advisories through 10 a.m. on Sunday. And that's because, well, it's going to get dangerously cold again. So our temperatures are honestly a pretty close repeat of last weekend. The only difference is there's no major snowfall expected this weekend. So here's what we've got. Clouds increasing through the morning, already beginning to do so. We'll have gusty north winds. Future track, where it shows snow, is just a slightly better chance of flurries or maybe a brief period of light snow. No accumulations expected. But really, between noon and 6, we could get flurries just about anywhere out there. Skies will begin to clear towards sunrise tomorrow. And while we'll have clear skies for the first half of our Saturday, it's not going to matter, because in fact tomorrow is going to be even colder than today. Not by a lot, but it will still be colder. The good news is the winds ease up Saturday afternoon, but then they'll start gusting again as we go late Saturday evening into the overnight hours, and clouds begin to make a return Saturday night into Sunday, which of course will bring another opportunity for perhaps a few flurries, a brief period of light snow, but again, nothing expected accumulation wise. Then by Sunday afternoon, winds are picking up, but this time out of the southwest, which will help us do a little warming, and then we'll do a lot more warming next week. We just got to get through this business first. We're in the mid-teens to start today, low 20s by 11 a.m. And again, those clouds gradually increasing across the area. We've got another look at your forecast, wake up recap in just a moment. And when we switch over to Fox 14 at 7 a.m., a new way to make smoothies and get your daily cardio in all at the same time. That and more at 7 a.m.
This is your Wake Up recap for January 30th, your top stories to start your day. A helicopter crashes into the Merrimack River, carrying a Missouri State Parks team. According to the Missouri Department of Natural Resources, the team was conducting an aerial ecological survey of the Merrimack State Park when the aircraft may have struck a power line. All those aboard the helicopter were rescued from the river and are under medical care. The chopper apparently sank into the icy river and park rangers were on site assisting. A wrong-way driver near Carthage traveled 7.5 miles before finally crashing. Authorities received the report late Wednesday night. When they arrived on scene, they found an SUV in a ditch near mile marker 58, just north of two semis pulled into the shoulder. Troopers believe the SUV struck a guardrail, then sideswiped one of the semis. The second semi struck road debris. The driver of the SUV, David McKinney of Carthage, was not injured. He was arrested and cited for felony DWI and driving the wrong direction on a divided highway. That's a check of today's Wake Up Recap.
And a reminder, cold weather advisories tonight through Sunday, as wind chills tonight could be 10, 15, 20, well, 10 to 15 degrees below zero. Highs today into the mid-20s. Flurries possible anywhere from noon to 6, but no accumulations expected. North winds today gusting to 20. Keep our daytime wind chills about 5 to 10 above. We're down to about 1 tonight. North winds gusting to 25. Cold weather advisory. That's why, as our wind chills tonight drop. We're only into the teens tomorrow, single digits tomorrow night. Southwest winds gusting on Sunday make us a pinch warmer, mid-30s, but take a look at the rest of next week. Some rain chances Tuesday and Wednesday. Outside of that, 40s, 50s, maybe even close to 60 for some by next weekend. So just a few more days of winter's revenge, and then we'll start to be a little nicer.
Those are definitely temperatures I'm looking forward to.
Same here.
Well, thanks, Chris. Coming up today at noon, we're making 50s-style Salisbury steak in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings. Finding cheap flights is always a challenge, but if you don't have a real ID, it may cost you just to get through airport security. Coming up, details on how much you'll have to pay.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, a young actress and model from Webb City, Avery Curtis, is in the studio to promote her upcoming film, Still Hope.
And Shannon Becker at a house fire this morning in Webb City. Hopefully join us for the 7. Otherwise, we will have his big 3 stories of the week, one way or the other. That's going to wrap it up for us for now. We're back Monday at 5.
And we'll see you today at noon.